Hey, besties. It's been a while. This episode's very late. And because of that, I decided that this video or this episode was going to be video. Finally, who would have thought this time would come? Um, Here it is. It's here. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Bree. This is my podcast, Bree and Chill. We're chilling. That's just what we do here. This is kind of like your bestie sent you a long voice message type of vibe. Sometimes I have guests here. I'm supposed to be having quite a few more guests, but I have been busy. Okay. I did not give up on the podcast. It's still my baby. I still want to do it. I think last episode I was complaining about how I was tired of the job that I was working and lost my appetite. I was quitting gardening. Well, the very next day after I posted that, I was having a panic attack at somebody's house when I was cleaning. Not like I wasn't hyperventilating really, but I like could not stop crying. And that house was actually easier than it normally was. And I was not having a good time. And I was like, dude, I've really got to get out of here. The following day, I ended up calling off for my mental health so I could like get prepared for the next week because I knew like it was going to end soon. Well, the following Monday, I go in and I have to sit through this whole meeting where this girl is like calling me out without calling me out, like talking about the houses I went to, like, and how she has to go and clean these houses that I did. And I don't think it was anything that I messed up. I think she was just like saying, like, basically, like, it's such a burden that she had to go and do these houses, which I kind of got the just then what was about to happen after the meeting. And I sat there for like a good 10, 15 minutes, not getting paid. And I go and talk to her after she gets everybody out of there. And she's like, well, I can't have you going into clients' homes. And I was going to tell her, hey, I was actually about to tell you this is going to be my last week. Well, she told me to go get my stuff and bring it in because I was fired. Well, honestly, I didn't want to finish out that whole week at all. I was overdue for getting out of there, but I was trying to do everything like a normal person and try to have a backup job before I quit. I'm very bad at that. That's like one of my red flags is like I usually don't find a backup job before I leave a job. Um, I don't know. Well, I was unemployed for about 5 hours. I have gotten into content creation a little bit, and I was going to make a video about that one unemployed friend on a Monday. But in the middle of me making that video, I got a call from a job I really wanted and got hired. I didn't need an interview or anything. They just basically wanted to make sure I wasn't a minor and didn't need a work permit. And I'm like, girl, I'm 30. So yeah, sign me up. Um, However, I didn't really work much more throughout that week besides like my own clients because I clean on my own too. And I'm going to keep doing that because I really like the clients that I have. So I was doing that, but I don't have like enough to really, sustain a whole week. But, I did what I could. And the following week, I started the new job. And honestly, I'm just going to tell you because I have a show and tell thing today as well. Like, there's something I have from this job that I want to show you guys at some point during this podcast. But I work at Spirit Halloween. And I don't think I would get in trouble for saying that. I've seen other creators like not talk about places that they worked. I don't know, but I'm not bad mouthing them or anything. I'm actually quite the opposite. I love that store. I have always wanted to work there, and this year I do. And they've been giving me some hours. So I have been working a lot. I've been so busy. Um, and that's why I haven't posted a podcast episode. I've been busy and then also kind of dealing with my mental health because like the gap between like changing jobs is quite difficult mentally, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure other people have opinions on that too. But it just, keeping myself sane. Um, And then I also went from getting paid weekly to biweekly. So it's been quite quite the change, but I like it. I really like working at Spirit. It's a lot of fun. Sucks that it's only a couple of months, but it's also leading me to other opportunities, which I think is cool. I'm not going to get into all those details unless something actually does happen. One of my goals is to like kind of stop talking about things until they're like actually in motion rather than like hopeful or whatever. You guys know I'm really into manifesting, but I've noticed whenever I talk about things too much, they don't happen as easy for me. I keep looking at myself. I'm sorry. Like I just keep looking. I feel like my eyes look like they're like like cross-eyed a little bit because I keep looking at myself. Um I look nice today though. I like it. I like my whole fit. I have a white skirt on. I'll show you guys a little bit. Stand up a little bit. Little white skirt and my little spooky shirt on. I don't know if you can tell, but I have like spider webs on my my pantyhose. Yeah, I get to dress up at this job and it's really cool. We're actually doing like themed stuff like for all of us to match. So not today. At least I don't think so. There was nothing they didn't have a theme for this week. And I've already worked earlier this week. So yeah, that's what this podcast is about, is telling you guys about my job. I wanted to show you guys my little cup that I got. It's dinging. Isn't that sick? Look at him. That's Jack the Reaper. I had to have this. I love that the mirror thing is on, but you guys get it. Oh well. So that's where I'm at. That job wise, that's part of the reason I haven't been on here that often because I've been working like a lot of evenings. Sometimes I'll sign myself up to clean at the beginning of the day and then go to Spirit Halloween after. And I pick up hours, you know. It's been fun. There's not really much else to say. I mean, I guess I could tell you guys I actually think I'm thriving in retail rather than like other jobs. And I think I like part time a little bit better, like having multiple part time things. I feel like I have more of a freedom over my schedule. And I also feel like it's easier to get time off for when I want to travel. Because one thing about me, I'm always looking for an excuse to hop onto a plane. And with a full time job, it's kind of hard. Like, they don't want to give you time off. And then I feel like they don't even pay you well enough to own your time, you know? So yeah, I'm sorry I was absent for a little bit. I know I actually have a couple of more than two handfuls of people who actually listen to every single episode, and I'm so thankful for that. It might not seem like a lot of people to others, but to me, like if that many people were standing in my house, I would be like, what? It's just crazy that many people like to hear me talk. And now you guys get to see me. Isn't that so cool? Noodle has joined the chat. Maybe he's probably gonna lay where you can't really see him in his little spot. That's his spot. Let's see. I had other things I wanted to show you guys too. So with my content creation, I got into tarot reading, right? And it was like right after I got hired at Spirit, I decided I was gonna do. Actually, I think right after that video, I was on my way to a store to get tarot cards. And I go in and I tell this lady exactly what I'm going in for. And she's like, well, what I usually tell people to do is like hold their hands out and see which one calls to you. And, I was sitting there thinking like, yeah, I'm kind of good with energy work. But she's like, or what I can do is like pick some out that I think would fit your aesthetic and see if anything pops out. And I told her that one. So she started pulling some out and then putting them like facing me on the shelf. Well, okay, look at these. I'm sorry that it's mirrored, you guys. I needed the front facing camera. I gotta look at myself on the video. But look at that. These are like the cutest cards ever. I am so festive this year. It's great. It's so great. I love Halloween. And I was like, that is so me. And then like I had just gotten the job at Spirit Halloween. Um, so I went live one time on TikTok with these cards. And I was just like reading them because really I don't know how to read tarot. I just kind of watch other people read it. And honestly, I admire people that read that stuff because like you kind of have to go with your intuition a little bit. I'm a person, I feel like there's parts of me I still don't trust my intuition fully. I always say that I do, but there's definitely some work that can be done. Um, but I went live on TikTok where I was just like pulling a card and reading from the book what it means. I'm thinking about doing like a little series on there where I just do that instead of going live all the time with it. Because if I go live, it's gonna have to be a night where I decide to stay up late. That's just how it is. I'm doing too much throughout my days. But as busy as I've been, I don't feel like drained, if that makes sense. I'm still making sure I get all the sleep that I need. You know what? Maybe let's pull a card. Hope you guys can still hear me when this is clipped. Maybe. Let's clip it on there. Probably gonna hang a little bit, yeah. I'm sorry to those of you who are listening on Spotify, but I'm putting my mic on my shirt. Or trying to. And I'm gonna do what I was doing on the TikTok live. The shirt is not really good for holding microphones. Sit it like here. All right, I hope that works. So let's do it. Okay. I don't know how to shuffle cards, but let's give it a go. I didn't expect my camera to be like such a. The frame's so good. I like this stance. Hopefully I can repeat this next time. I have no idea how to shuffle cards. I am not a tarot reader. I am a tarot learner. That's what we're doing here. You know what? That popped out. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know what this card means. Let's put these down. Okay. So what is that? 8 of Swords. It came out reversed. I feel like the reverse actually like makes I feel like this card might be positive being upside down. So here it is. Here it is, you guys. This is it. Isn't it cute though? I mean, look at the art on this. Look at it. I'm gonna turn it upside, right side up, or whatever you say. Look how cute. Look at it. He got a little sword in his foot. Like, is he? Oh no, that sword is going through his foot. It's going through his foot. He's hanging on to one. He's like hanging from the moon and like through a cloud too. That's pretty intricate. It looks like he's dropped a lot of his swords. Like he really could probably like take the sword and like cut the rope above him if he wanted to. But it came upside down, and I know not everybody practices reverse, but I actually do when I get into some of the reversals. But we're going to read what this is upside right. I don't think I'm saying that right. I don't think that's how it's said. But you guys know what I mean. You wouldn't know exactly what I mean. So let's see. 8 of Swords. I hope I don't stutter reading for the class here. This solemn creature is feeling so very sorry for themselves. How could this possibly happen? And why? Oh, why does this keep happening to me? If only they would realize the tools they already possess. how swiftly they could choose to cut themselves free. Didn't I just say that too? I just said, like, you could cut the rope, you know? We are facing victim mentality, feeling like we are trapped or bound to a situation. The words "I can't" are being uttered. Right now, moving forward feels downright terrifying. This causes fear based paralysis and appears like laziness to the outside world. The Eight of Swords asks us to decipher what is actually in our control, whether the circumstance we are facing is of our own doing or not. We have power in the way we decide to react and go from here. Too much thinking has gotten you here, and this self defeating attitude is holding you back. The key is to tackle small, very small steps to achieve those larger results. This can't be an all or nothing situation. It really doesn't have to be this hard, but you must make the decision for yourself. They have a couple questions under here that you could ask the rest of the deck or spirit, however, whoever you're talking to when you're doing these cards. How can I learn to take my power back? How can I find ways to set myself free? Well, what it means in reverse, I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's because I figured it out. Like, honestly, I feel a little bit triggered with this. I feel a little bit triggered. Maybe it's just like a relief. That's kind of what I get from it. It being upside down, I feel like is a more positive thing because this card definitely is not giving positive when it's right side up. Like, why not just cut the rope? Like, that's all you gotta do. But I feel like maybe like gaining power back. That's my interpretation of it. What do you guys think? What do you think it was good? Do you think that's a good interpretation? That's it. That's all I'm gonna do with the tarot cards. I just really wanted to show them off. They're so cute. This is a little booklet. This is what the booklet looks like. Also, I don't know if you guys peeped my nails. I did get my nails done. Here they are, little ghosties, little spider webs. Very cute. Here's the other hand. It's kind of opposite colors. Very cute. I almost never get my nails done, but actually my very first day working at Spirit Halloween, somebody got some press-on nails and they were like kind of similar to this. They were like a baby pink with some ghosts on them, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, oh my god, those are so cute. I want my nails done, but I hate press-ons. I hate them. I usually hate fake nails. And I could do them myself. I have stuff to do them myself. It just takes me like 4+ hours to do them myself. I'm not very good at cleaning them up, and then as they grow out, I look at them like I'm looking at my hands so much, like, all the time, especially when my nails are done. And you know, like these look good because they were done by a professional. And I kind of just went into her and I was like, I want Halloween nails. Do what you want with them. Just make them Halloween. She had a follow-up question, which was, do you want like traditional colors or do you want like girly colors? And I'm like, I'll do the girly colors. And I didn't tell her what colors to pick, and she picks pink and purple. Those are my two favorite colors. I love, like, purple is probably my number one favorite. And then I've gotten into pink as time has gone on. Like I've heard things that like pink is like a healing color or something. That's how you know a girl is healing. Whatever. I don't know. It's such a weird thing. Like, I'm sort of spiritual, but like not the same spiritual as like a lot of other people on the internet. I don't know. I'm weird. Don't you guys know that? It's why we're besties, right? Like, I'm pretty sure people listening to this are a little bit weird or feel like a little bit of an outcast or something. I don't know. That's what I would imagine. My listeners are my friends that listen. I know I definitely like we're not all there unless we're together. Then we have a little bit more. I'm sorry, you guys. I love you so much. I love you all so much. That's why we're besties. So, let's see. What else do I have to talk about? Like, I don't know. Work probably isn't a fun discussion for you guys. It's just work. I do like my coworkers. They're really cool. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to do it. So I have been on a dating app that starts with T. You know it. I've been on there trying to find a +1 to a Halloween event. Hello, Noodle. Hello. Look, he's showing his face. I'm so sorry for you if you're on Spotify. My cat is like showing himself, being a little cutie. I love it. I love it. Hello. But yeah, I've been on the dating app looking for a +1 to a Halloween event. And, I don't know what's wrong with men. I'm sorry. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I hate sounding like this because I hate like doing the gender battle things because I know there's women out there that suck too. But like y'all like won't hang out for anything. Nothing. I actually was supposed to have a date this past Saturday. I picked up a shift at work, and later that night I was supposed to meet somebody. This guy already gave me red flags, and I think this is why I said earlier that there's still parts of me I don't trust my intuition. My intuition is actually really strong, and I just don't trust it. I don't know. I don't know why. I think it's because I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Things be happening. But this one guy, he messages me and he's like, so how do I apply for this +1? And I was like, tired of the games. I'm just straight up. I was like, just like this, and don't ghost me when we get off of the app. So this guy, does Snapchat, which is already like a red flag, but I've also noticed it doesn't matter to people. Like they'll give you their number too and still ghost you like right after you get off the app. They'll have like the what's up conversation after they get off the app, and then that's it. They don't talk to you anymore. So, but this guy, he was consistent for like 2 days, and then it got to a point where I went like almost 48 hours without hearing from him. And mind you, I'm not somebody who I don't need to hear from my person every single second of the day. But I don't know if you're going the whole entire 24 hours without talking to me or even giving me an excuse. Like, you can't even give me an excuse or something. Like, sorry, I've been busy. Nothing. That's where it's like, come on. Because I get busy too, and I still have time to reply to people. It's not hard. It's really like a if they wanted to, they would thing. But he went the almost 48 hours, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. As I'm like, he's on the app. Maybe he's talking to somebody else, and it's just going better with somebody else. I don't have to be the one. Not necessarily looking for my soulmate on there. I just want somebody to go to this damn Halloween party with me. Like, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Like, just pick out a costume and come party for a weekend. At a cool Halloween party. I don't know. But anyway, fast forward to, he starts getting consistent again, and he's talking to me, and then we make plans for the Saturday, and I was excited, but I was also like afraid this guy would not show up. And I was thinking the whole day, and this goes into my law of attraction stuff. Like I definitely got what I expected out of this. Ooh, Chucky Bean has joined the chat. I love it. You guys get to see my cats now that I'm in the video version of this. I'm sorry if you're on Spotify listening. The cats have made an appearance. This is great. Distracting me from my story a little bit. But maybe it's good. I probably need to leave this story in the past after this episode. But But this guy, earlier in the day, Saturday, when I was getting ready, he's like, oh, there's a Renaissance fair this weekend. I've never been to one. Would you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure. I've never been to one either. So I was excited. And, I had to ask him, I was like, okay, are we still hanging out tonight and then going to the Renaissance fair? Or did you not want to hang out tonight? And he said the plan was to still hang out. And I'm sitting there thinking all day, maybe I should tell this guy, if you choose to not come, to please tell me. Cause I was driving quite a bit away. I was leaving straight from work to go meet up with him, and it was a 50-minute drive. So, I was worried about driving up there and he just wouldn't show up. However, I never did tell him hey, if you don't show or if you don't want to go, please say something. About an hour before the end of my shift, he's like, unfortunately, I'm not going to make it, but I hope you have a good weekend. So that means he canceled the Renaissance fair thing too. I ended up telling him I definitely don't want you to go to this Halloween ball because you're kind of giving inconsistent then he deleted me, the next day, which rightfully so. That's good. That's what we needed. And yeah, it's just I don't understand. He's on the app. What it was giving to me, the vibe I was getting was he either has a girlfriend or an ex. An ex that is probably got a situationship going. And she probably hit him up. So he took her to the Renaissance fair instead. So yeah. I was actually going to talk about this on the original version of this episode. I actually recorded just an audio version of this, and it didn't really flow out the same. I had to pause and restart so much. So I feel like it wasn't, I don't know. It didn't click like I wanted it to. My goal with this podcast is for it to not be so forced. I don't want to have to force things. I don't really like to force things. But in that episode, I was like, yeah, I've got a date. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Well, it didn't go. So yeah, I actually don't know if I'm even going to go to the Halloween party just because I don't want to be a third wheel, and it also kind of costs a lot for the trip. And I was really hoping, I really thought at least somebody would go, and those short-term fun people would want to go have short-term fun. And usually I'm not that kind of person. But even that, I just really don't know what's wrong with guys. If you guys could tell me what's wrong with you, that'd be great. That'd be great. I'd love to know what's wrong with you. I think you guys don't even know what's wrong with you. And I think you guys need therapy. To figure out maybe you just don't know what you want, or I don't know. But at least start being I don't know. Be better. Be better. It's not hard. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have anything else to say. But I actually feel a lot more confident doing video than I thought I would be. I'm loving the way the background looks. Even you can see that chair back there, a little plant. I was really worried about the lighting, but I actually don't care that much. You guys get to see my cats. And we've been going for 29 minutes so far, so that's pretty good. I didn't think this episode was going to be that long. I was like, I might only get 15 minutes out, but I got to post something today. I got to get back on my consistency with that. Because as much as I love Spirit Halloween, this podcast is still more important to me than that. So I do want to say thank you to all my regular listeners and the people that hype me up and the people that comment. I don't think you guys understand how appreciative I am of that. We're still in the early days of this. And I don't know, it's really my favorite thing to do. I just sit here and talk to my phone, to a microphone. I don't know, I think I just like to talk. I don't know, maybe getting it out. It feels different getting it out to a mic and a phone than it does to talk to my friends. Like it's a different vibe. Um, I don't know. Like it's just it's fun. It's fun, and I'm glad that some of you really like it. I'm glad I found some more besties. And if you're listening on Spotify and you want to see the nails or the Halloween tarots, you should just come watch the video on YouTube. It's still Bree and Chill with no spaces. Bree, the letter N, Chill. Um, which, by the way, I Googled myself, like my tag, like the Bree and Chill. It was kind of cool, like the description that came up with. However, it got me and my best friend like as one entity because she is a photographer. So it put in my description that I'm a photographer who specializes in family photos. And that's not me. I'm usually the model behind some of her photos, and she's tagged me in a lot of stuff. I've tagged her in stuff because we're best friends. We have been since like 2020. Um, so I thought it was crazy that Google mashed us into like one entity. It's weird. I don't know why they did that. But it did have everything else. I love seeing the description is like talking about I'm a traveler, hiker, I camp and skate, and I make reels about life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like I did love seeing that, but like when I seen specializes in family portraits, like I was like, okay, that's not me, but I love that we have become one entity. It also did mention the podcast, like that I encourage people to listen to the podcast. I I do encourage people to listen, but also it's like I don't care if you don't listen either. Um, so thanks to those of you who tune in and keep coming back, and people that look forward to episodes. Like I'm so sorry that I let you down with the every other week thing. But I'm alive and well. At least it's for good causes, right? Um, and if you're new, you know, make like and subscribe. Yeah, I would really appreciate it if you guys would like give the thumbs up on this, comment. You know, got any questions? Comment, ask something. Got something to say? I don't know. Let's be besties. That's what I'm trying to do is create a bestie environment. Maybe you just want to say something random. I don't care. Say something random. What are you obsessed with lately? Tell me. One thing about me is I love when people are obsessed with things and then they go off about it. Like, please, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. So, yeah, like, subscribe, or don't. Whatever. I will live. I will live without you doing all that. We're going to carry on over here. That's what we do. We carry on no matter what. Next episode, I think that I'll probably have a guest. I think I know who I'm going to go with first. It's like I got a line of a list of who I want on here and like what order. But I'm going to get more guest episodes out. I just really wanted to get this one out just because like life was just kind of doing things and I wasn't expecting them. So also, if you guys don't follow my socials, you should. Bree and Chill everywhere, except for Facebook. Facebook, you gotta kind of you gotta know how to reach me there. This is still kind of my personal account, so good luck finding me on there. um, but my Instagram, TikTok, it's Bree and Chill. Come follow along. Come be a family. Come be besties. And we guys know I'm never gonna try to treat you like fans. Like that's kind of not what I'm going for. I don't want to treat anybody like a fan. Even if this blows up and I start getting like crazy amount of views and stuff, I don't really want I still want to keep the community vibe. I'm sorry if my eyes have been looking. I've been looking at myself most of the time. I try to like not look at myself because I feel like when I'm looking at myself, it looks weird. I don't know. Anyway, that's all for me. I love you all. I'm done with my closing out rambling and all my rambling. Um, I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Maybe next week. Maybe since I didn't do an episode for a little bit, maybe I'll have like 1 week after the other this time. We'll see how events go. Because, like I said, I think the next one's going to have a guest. And usually, when I record an episode, I like cannot wait to post it. So maybe it'll just be one after the other just to make up for it. Does it really matter though? I mean, I'm not getting paid for this, so, and I'm still showing up, you know. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks for listening. And I hope you have a good week. Make the world a better place. I don't know. Don't make it a worse place. Be that person that you want to encounter in public. I don't know. Some type of inspirational message. I'm not really good with that stuff. But anyway, yeah. Bye.